the reality we perceive may be merely an illusion, a hologram shaped by our own consciousness. Imagine that every thought, every emotion, is a brushstroke on the vibrant canvas of existence. What would happen if you could learn to manipulate that canvas? The quest for truth transcends the boundaries of science and spirituality, and at the center of this journey is Jacobo Grinberg, a researcher who challenged everything we know about mind and matter. Grinberg not only explored extraordinary phenomena but also unraveled how consciousness intertwines with the fabric of the universe. Have you ever stopped to think if your mind can interact with others, even at a distance? What if the key to understanding reality lies in the invisible interactions between energy and the brain? As you reflect on this, another question lingers in the air. What happened to Grinberg after his shocking discoveries? His mysterious disappearance continues to spark curiosity and speculation. Prepare for a deep exploration that may change your perception of reality and your own creative power. The holographic reality theory, proposed by a revolutionary scientist, suggests that the reality we perceive is not merely a fixed backdrop but rather a dynamic hologram. This idea challenges the traditional view we have of the physical world as a static and unchanging space. Instead, reality is presented as an interactive matrix that shapes and transforms in response to human consciousness. This concept is fascinating because it implies that our perception of the world is not just a reaction to our surroundings but an active construction that we can influence. It is important to understand that, according to this theory, the holographic matrix is not a passive backdrop. In other words, reality is not just there, waiting to be perceived. It is described as a vibrant system that interacts with consciousness. This means that every thought, feeling, and intention we emit has the potential to influence the configuration of our reality. This perspective suggests a deep interconnection between the mind and the universe, where consciousness not only observes but also shapes what is observed. This new understanding of existence proposes that consciousness plays a central role in shaping reality. Thus, the way we interpret experiences, the feelings we nurture, and the beliefs we hold can profoundly affect how we live and perceive the world around us. This idea invites us to reflect on the power we have over our own lives, prompting us to consider whether we are mere spectators or co-creators of our reality. The holographic theory also raises questions about the nature of perception. If reality is a hologram that responds to consciousness, how can we better understand our daily experiences? This new perspective urges us to examine how our expectations and beliefs influence the way we perceive situations, events, and even other people. What may seem like a casual event could actually be a manifestation of our intentions and mental states. Furthermore, the holographic reality theory opens up a range of possibilities for self-knowledge and personal development. If consciousness can shape reality, then self-awareness becomes a powerful tool. By understanding our own patterns of thought and emotion, we can learn to direct our consciousness more effectively, creating a reality that resonates with our deepest desires and aspirations. Jacobo Grinberg, a psychologist and consciousness researcher, delved into phenomena that challenge conventional logic, such as telepathy and clairvoyance. His work is a testament to how science can explore areas that were previously seen as belonging to the domain of mysticism. Grinberg believed that human consciousness is not an isolated entity but rather an integral part of a broader fabric that connects all beings. He introduced concepts such as synergia and sintra, which explore the intersection of consciousness and the energy that permeates the universe. The concept of synergia refers to energy synthesis, while sintra deals with synthesis and neural energy. These ideas suggest that consciousness is an active force that interacts with space-time, creating a network of connections that transcends individual experience. Grinberg proposed that consciousness is not merely a function of the brain but results from complex interactions between the brain and the energetic structures that surround us. This perspective challenges the traditional view that sees consciousness as a product solely of brain activity, opening the door to a more holistic understanding. Grinberg also ventured to investigate the nature of perception and how it relates to consciousness. For him, perception is not a simple reception of external stimuli but an active process involving interpretation and meaning-making. Thus, the way we perceive the world is directly linked to our consciousness and our ability to interact with the energies around us. This approach may lead us to rethink how we experience reality and consider that perception is a construct that can be shaped. Grinberg's research also touched on areas that are traditionally seen as separate from science, such as spirituality and shamanic practices. He explored how these ancient traditions can offer valuable insights into consciousness and its relationship with reality. Grinberg believed that shamans, through their practices, had access to states of consciousness that allowed them to manipulate reality in ways that conventional science has yet to fully understand. Ultimately, Jacobo Grinberg's work invites us to reflect on human potential and the capacities we have yet to fully explore. By approaching consciousness as a phenomenon that extends beyond the individual and intertwines with the universe, he encourages us to consider the implications of our interactions and how we can use this knowledge to expand our understanding and experience of reality. The experiments conducted by Jacobo Grinberg regarding the EPR paradox, Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen, reveal the depth of his research on consciousness. The EPR paradox questions the nature of reality and how two particles can be instantaneously connected, regardless of the distance separating them. Grinberg suggested that the human mind could have a non-local correlation with other brains, allowing for interactions at a distance that challenge traditional logic. This idea suggests that consciousness is not confined to physical space, but operates at a level that transcends temporal and spatial limitations. These findings have significant implications for the way we understand the interaction between individuals. If the mind can connect to other minds non-locally, this opens up a field of possibilities in terms of communication, empathy, and even the understanding of concepts like love and solidarity. The idea that our consciousnesses can intertwine suggests that we are all interconnected in a way that is deeper than we imagine, leading us to question the nature of individuality and the self. Grinberg's research also challenges naive realism, which assumes that perception is a direct representation of reality. Instead, he argued that perception is a neuropsychological construction shaped by the interaction between the brain and complex energy patterns. This perspective leads us to consider that reality is not an objective entity, but rather a subjective experience influenced by our beliefs, emotions, and mental states. This raises questions about the nature of truth and how each of us interprets it. Furthermore, Grinberg studied the potential of shamans to manipulate reality through spiritual practices and rituals. He proposed that these shamanic abilities are linked to altered states of consciousness, allowing practitioners to access dimensions of reality that remain unexplored by conventional science. This intersection between spirituality and science opens a dialogue about how different forms of knowledge can complement and enrich our understanding of existence. Thus, Grinberg's discoveries encourage us to look beyond the limits of traditional science and consider the possibility that consciousness plays a fundamental role in shaping reality. By exploring non-local interactions and the nature of perception, we are invited to expand our understanding of humanity and to explore the vast potentials that reside within us. The disappearance of Jacobo Grinberg in December 1994 is an enigmatic chapter surrounding his life and work. He had accumulated vast knowledge about consciousness and its implications, but suddenly vanished without a trace. This event sparked a series of speculations and theories about what could have happened to him. Some people believe he may have been targeted by government agencies, such as the CIA, who could have been interested in his research on consciousness and unconventional phenomena. Other, more extravagant theories suggest that his disappearance could be linked to alien abductions. While this idea may seem absurd at first glance, it reflects the depth of the mystery surrounding his life and work. The fact that such an innovative and respected researcher disappeared without concrete explanation fuels people's imagination and curiosity, leading them to question whether he may have discovered something that transcended our current understanding of reality. Grinberg's legacy, even after his disappearance, continues to inspire debates and discussions about the interconnection between mind, matter, and the cosmos. His theories and experiments remain relevant in the field of consciousness research, and many continue to explore the ideas he presented. His work challenges the boundaries between science and spirituality, inviting us to consider the possibility that there are dimensions of human experience that we do not yet fully understand. Moreover, the mystery surrounding his disappearance serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the pursuit of knowledge. Sometimes, the search for truth can lead to unexpected and dangerous paths. Grinberg's disappearance prompts us to reflect on the cost of curiosity and the importance of continuing to investigate fundamental questions about consciousness. In December 1994, Jacobo Grinberg mysteriously disappeared, an event that left a significant void in the scientific community in discussions about consciousness. His sudden absence raised a series of questions and speculations, fueling theories ranging from involvement by government agencies, such as the CIA, to the possibility of alien abduction. The impact of his disappearance resonated not only among his colleagues but also among those interested in the intersections between science, spirituality, and the nature of reality. The theories surrounding Grinberg's disappearance vary widely, reflecting the complexity of his studies and the controversies that often surrounded them. Some believe that his research, which challenged scientific norms and explored the connection between mind and energy, may have attracted unwanted attention from institutions that preferred to keep certain knowledge secret. Others suggest that his quest for truth and understanding of consciousness may have led him into dangerous situations involving spiritual practices or experiments that crossed ethical and legal boundaries. Regardless of the cause of his disappearance, Grinberg's legacy lives on and continues to inspire debates about the interconnection between mind, matter, and the cosmos. His theories and research paved the way for new investigations into consciousness, and his ideas still resonate in fields seeking to understand the nature of reality in innovative ways. Therefore, Grinberg's absence does not signify the end of his contributions, but rather an invitation to reflect on what he left behind. Discussions about Grinberg's disappearance also highlight the importance of his work and the need to continue exploring the questions he raised. By considering the impact of his research, we are led to question how consciousness and reality intertwine and how this may influence our everyday lives. The search for answers to the mystery of his disappearance thus becomes an extension of his own quest for knowledge and understanding. Ultimately, Jacobo Grinberg's legacy invites us to look beyond the traditional limitations of science and spirituality. He ignites curiosity and a desire to explore the depths of human consciousness and its interactions with the universe. The mystery of his disappearance, far from silencing his voice, serves as a reminder that the questions he raised remain relevant and that the quest for understanding the mind and reality continues to be open. In his investigations, Jacobo Grinberg critically examines naive realism, the belief that human perception directly reflects external reality. For him, this view is simplistic and does not encompass the complexity of interactions that occur between the human brain and the energetic realities that surround it. Grinberg suggests that perception is, in fact, a neuropsychological construction. This means that the way we experience the world is not a simple reception of stimuli, but an active and dynamic interpretation, shaped by various internal and external influences. Through his studies, Grinberg explores the idea that the human brain is not isolated in its activity, but is continuously interacting with complex energetic patterns. These patterns can be seen as a kind of fabric that permeates reality, where each human thought, emotion, and intention has the potential to influence and be influenced. This perspective opens the door to a deeper understanding of our experiences and the way we relate to the world around us. By exploring this interaction, Grinberg challenges traditional notions of causality and linearity, proposing that there is a level of interconnectedness that transcends what is perceived at first glance. Moreover, Grinberg's quest to understand how human consciousness relates to these energetic patterns leads him to investigate shamanic practices. He observes that many shamans claim to have the ability to manipulate reality, using techniques that involve altered states of consciousness. Grinberg suggests that these practices may, in fact, be connected to phenomena identified in quantum physics, such as non-locality, where particles can be correlated regardless of the distance separating them. This intersection between science and spirituality is a fascinating area of study, where Grinberg seeks to understand how these ancestral practices can offer insights into the nature of consciousness and reality. The manipulation of reality, as suggested by Grinberg, implies that consciousness is not merely a product of the brain, but a force that can influence the environment. This idea challenges many traditional scientific concepts, which tend to view the mind as a separate and passive entity. Grinberg proposes that by understanding the nature of consciousness and its interactions with space-time, we can begin to unravel the mysteries of phenomena such as telepathy and clairvoyance, which are often considered mere anomalies or superstitions. Through rigorous experiments and careful observations, he seeks evidence to support the idea that the human mind can, in fact, transcend the physical limitations of the body. Lastly, the implications of Grinberg's discoveries go beyond simple scientific inquiry. They invite us to reconsider our own perception of reality and the nature of consciousness. If perception is a construction that interacts with complex energetic patterns, it means that each of us plays an active role in creating our reality. This view not only empowers the individual but also opens the door to a more holistic understanding of existence, where mind, matter, and the cosmos are interconnected in ways that we are only beginning to explore and comprehend. In December 1994, Jacobo Grinberg mysteriously disappeared, an event that left not only his friends and family perplexed but also the entire scientific community that followed his studies. The disappearance of such a prominent figure in consciousness research raised countless questions and theories about what could have happened. Some believe he was the victim of an accident, while others suggest there may have been involvement from government agencies or even an alien abduction. The lack of concrete evidence regarding his fate only fuels speculation and mystery surrounding his figure. The possibility of involvement from agencies like the CIA, for example, arises from the context in which Grinberg was working. His studies on consciousness, Telepathy and the interconnectedness between minds may have attracted the attention of organizations interested in exploring these phenomena for military or social control purposes. The idea that consciousness could be manipulated or used in ways that transcend conventional understanding is a perspective that might be seen as a threat in certain circles. Thus, Grinberg's disappearance could be interpreted as an attempt to silence a voice that was on the verge of challenging established norms. On the other hand, the possibility of alien abduction has also been suggested, reflecting the intriguing and almost fantastical nature of Grinberg's work. He explored concepts that were often considered outside the scope of traditional science, and this connection with the unknown and the supernatural could have generated speculation about extraterrestrial intervention. This theory, while less plausible from a scientific standpoint, highlights how Grinberg's work was, and continues to be, surrounded by an aura of mystery that attracts both admirers and skeptics. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding his disappearance, Jacobo Grinberg's legacy lives on. His ideas about consciousness, the interconnectedness between mind and reality, and the relationship between science and spirituality continue to inspire debates and research. The absence of definitive answers regarding his fate only adds a layer of complexity to his legacy, causing his theories to be frequently revisited and reinterpreted in light of new developments in science and spirituality. Thus, Grinberg's disappearance is not just an isolated event, but an element that sparks curiosity and reflection on the nature of consciousness and reality. As the mystery of his fate persists, his contributions continue to invite new generations to explore the frontiers of knowledge and to question what we truly know about the mind, matter, and the cosmos. The interconnectedness between these elements, which he so passionately investigated, remains a source of fascination and discovery, challenging us to look beyond what is visible and to consider the depth of human experiences in a vast and enigmatic universe. And so, as we explore the fascinating theories of Jacobo Grinberg and the intriguing notion of holographic reality, we are invited to reflect, to what extent does our consciousness shape the reality around us? What do you, the viewer, feel when thinking that your mind may be a key to accessing invisible dimensions? Grinberg's discoveries not only challenge our perceptions but also provoke us to question what we know about the interaction between mind and universe. Have you ever paused to consider whether your emotions and thoughts affect the vibration of the world around you? Every idea, every feeling, may be creating an echo in the fabric of reality. And what about the mystery of his disappearance? Did he truly touch on truths that were beyond what we can comprehend? The interconnectedness between mind and cosmos continues to fascinate us and, who knows, may guide us on a journey of self-discovery. Leave your thoughts in the comments. How do you think consciousness can shape your life? What does this new perspective on reality mean to you? Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more content that will expand your mind and spirituality.